This Dragon Warhammer has a really cool spike. It's a feature that I really do like. But could it puncture armor right through? I think this topic deserves another look or two. Friends, look! It's a finished Dragon Hammer. Well, it's 99% finished. I've stripped out the replacement screw. In the last video, the belt hook came off because I broke the screw. The replacement one, I have stripped it out, trying to get it in there. I mean, this is some pretty tough hickory. It's about 2 millimeters to go, but I will need to get to find where I put my little bit that actually digs in, the one for removing, and I might have to remove it and replace it again, or I might just be able to get something so I can just get the last 2 millimeters, everything nice and secure. But there we go. Look at that. It looks pretty sharp. Yeah, I had some black wood stain, so I figured let's go black and brass, and then we have the nice gray of the steel. It looks fantastic. I've swung it a little bit, and yeah, it definitely bites in to a wooden post really well. I don't know how it's going to react against a piece of metal, but I did want to talk about back spikes on weapons, particularly warhammers, and armor, and are you going to be able to use this to puncture through in someone's, breastplate in their armor? And I don't think so. Now, Maddie's had a pretty good video recently talking about, the drawback of if you hit someone and you get through the mail or through the padding or even through the plate and it's jammed in there and it's tough to remove, it would be easier to thrust into a person with a sword than it would be with a spike. But I had some thoughts. Because in previous videos, when we're talking about whether it's, the shape of an axe or a hook, when we're fighting in armor, whether you're in armor or not, but you've got someone that you're attacking who's in armor, a lot of it is going to come down to manipulation of the opponent. It's not just I'm swinging at them and hoping to puncture the armor and dig into the flesh underneath. It's not quite like that. You're, fighting, if we're talking about pole axes, binding actions, and maneuvering person, a lot of what we've been doing in our longsword class that we're teaching, we're looking at being able to disarm. We're looking at joint manipulation. We're looking at working the elbow. And what if these spikes aren't necessarily for puncturing through armor? Because I think there's going to be a lot of deformation. You're going to damage this. Going through 2.5, 3 millimeters of plate, that's going to be tough. Okay? But what if you're trying to get into a gap of armor? Now, I'm wearing this really cool cuff that I made. It's got a dragon on it, if you can see. I made that a couple years ago, but hey, it gave me inspiration. You can see it's got this brass strip, black leather, dragon, brass, black. Hey! I think they go together, so I wore it for the video. I think it's pretty cool. But what if this spike then is for getting into those gaps and manipulating joint? What if you can turn the hammer around, get into the elbow, and twist an opponent? That action of twisting their own body weight, it's going to rip and tear, come loose, and then you follow up, hit them in the head with the hammer while they're off balance? I don't know, just a thought. Now, I know Matt will do a follow-up video, and he'll probably talk a lot about fighting with these weapons. We don't necessarily have manuals that tell us specifically something like this for use in combat, but we can extrapolate. We can look at pole axe, we can look at some other later weapons. We can figure out that, yeah, if I'm using this and I hook into behind the plate, maybe the pauldron or something, or at the neck, I'm digging in, it's biting into the armor, maybe it's penetrating a bit, but I can then, with my whole body shifting and turning and moving my arm, I can move the opponent. And that will allow me to create a vulnerability that I can take advantage of. And then it's hammer time. I had to say it at some point in one of my videos. And yeah, I just wanted to bring that up in a really quick video, just to say, yeah, it's a topic that's in human community and arms and armor community right now. And I think that a lot of this is for getting into a gap, and you want to get stuck there because you want to then move your opponent take them for a ride, spin them around, whatever, because you've got this digging in. Maybe it will break the armor. Maybe some rivets will pop. Maybe we don't always want to just collapse the armor and crunch it. Maybe we want to get in that gap and control the opponent. And if you can control the opponent, you can control the fight. Yes, multiple opponents, you don't want to get your weapon stuck in there, but hopefully you have friends in armor with you on your side, and we're looking more at a larger battle, not just one against many, right? So that you're picking your opponent, you're fighting them, you don't have to worry because you've got someone to your left or to your right covering against others. Alright, that's a little seed I wanted to plant today. Just give you some thoughts on, you know, the design of this spike. Sometimes it's curved. Sometimes it doesn't look like it's going to puncture. I think you can hook with it. I think that you can get in those gaps, manipulate. There's a point. Alright, friends. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say for today. Do remember, like, subscribe, and of course comment, because your comments shape content of the channel. There's some things to follow up on from last week's video. There's some comments about self-defense and using various types of weapons. Well, think about how I can put that into videos without giving people the idea that they can run around with a warhammer on their belt and defend themselves in the streets, because I don't really want to do that. But anyway, you know, your comments will help shape the content, and I do appreciate them. So for now, take care, stay safe, and keep on swinging!